Did you know that thousands of dogs are accidentally poisoned each year by everyday foods found right in our kitchens? As a responsible dog owner, it's crucial to know what human foods are safe for your furry friend to indulge in, and which ones can be harmful or even toxic. Unfortunately, many of us are unaware of the common foods found in our kitchens that can pose a significant risk to our dog's health. So today we will explore the 17 foods that are toxic to your dog's health. Let's dive into it. Food number 1, chocolate. We all know how tempting a bar of chocolate can be, but for our dogs, it's a dangerous indulgence. That's because chocolate contains a compound called theobromine. Now, we humans can metabolize theobromine easily, but dogs, not so much. Theobromine builds up in their system, acting as a stimulant and diuretic. This can lead to a whole host of problems, starting with vomiting and diarrhea, but it doesn't stop there. We can see hyperactivity, restlessness, increased thirst and urination, panting, and even muscle tremors. In severe cases, theobromine poisoning can cause seizures, heart problems, internal bleeding, and even death. The darker the chocolate, the more concentrated the theobromine, making dark chocolate and baking chocolate the most dangerous. So, remember, keep that chocolate stash well out of your dog's reach. And if you suspect your dog has ingested any amount of chocolate, contact your veterinarian immediately. Number 2, grapes. They might seem like harmless snacks, but for our canine companions, they can be incredibly dangerous. Even small amounts of grapes or raisins can cause sudden kidney failure in dogs. The exact toxin in grapes and raisins that causes this reaction is still unknown, which makes it even more concerning. What we do know is that ingestion can lead to a rapid decline in kidney function, often accompanied by symptoms like vomiting, loss of appetite, lethargy, and decreased urination. If left untreated, kidney failure can be fatal. The scariest part? Some dogs may show no symptoms at all until the damage is already done. That's why it's crucial to treat any grape or raisin ingestion as a potential emergency. Never, ever give your dog grapes or raisins, and be extra careful to keep them out of reach. Number 3, onions. We all love a little onion for flavor, but did you know that this seemingly harmless vegetable can actually be quite harmful to our canine companions? Onions, whether they're raw, cooked, or even powdered, contain compounds that can damage your dog's red blood cells. This damage can lead to a condition called anemia, which means their blood isn't carrying enough oxygen to their vital organs. Now you might be thinking, my dog stole a French fry cooked with onions, and he seemed fine. And you could be right. It often takes a significant amount of onion to cause serious problems. And smaller dogs are more susceptible than larger breeds, but why take the risk? The signs of onion toxicity can be subtle at first. Lethargy, weakness, pale gums, and by the time you notice them, it might be too late. Number 4, garlic. Another aromatic bulb in the allium family is a close relative of the onion. It contains thiosulfate, which can damage red blood cells in dogs, leading to anemia. While garlic is more potent in flavor, it generally takes more to cause toxicity. Always err on the side of caution and keep garlic away from your furry friends. Number 5, avocados. They're creamy, delicious, and a staple in many households, but when it comes to our dogs, avocados fall squarely into the forbidden fruit category. Now the good news is that avocados aren't toxic in the same way that, say, chocolate is. The problem with avocados is a substance called persin, which is found in the fruit, leaves, and even the pit. While persin isn't particularly harmful to humans, it can wreak havoc on a dog's digestive system. We're talking about vomiting, diarrhea, and potentially even more serious gastrointestinal upset. And here's the thing, the amount of persin can vary wildly from avocado to avocado. So even if your dog has gotten into a bit of avocado before without any problems, there's no guarantee that the next time won't land them at the vet's office. It's just not a risk worth taking. Number 6, chives. We've talked about onions and garlic, but did you know that chives belong to the same family? That's right, these are part of the allium family, and they can be just as toxic to our furry friends. Just like onions and garlic, chives contain compounds that can damage your dog's red blood cells. This can lead to a condition called anemia, which can make your dog weak, lethargic, and even cause pale gums. Now, I know some folks like to sprinkle a little bit of chives on their food as a garnish, but even small amounts can be harmful to dogs. So, the next time you're chopping up some chives for your baked potato, make sure your pup isn't sneaking any bites. Remember, our furry friends rely on us to keep them safe and healthy. So let's keep those chives off their plates and stick to dog-friendly treats instead. Number 7, dairy products. We all love a cold glass of milk or a scoop of ice cream on a hot day. But did you know that dairy products can be tough on your dog's digestive system? You see, many dogs are lactose intolerant, meaning they have trouble digesting lactose, the sugar found in milk. This can lead to all sorts of unpleasant symptoms like gas, bloating, diarrhea, and even vomiting. Now, I'm not saying that a tiny lick of ice cream here and there is going to send your dog straight to the emergency room, but it's important to be mindful of how much dairy your dog is consuming and to watch out for any signs of digestive upset. Remember, every dog is different, and some dogs may be more sensitive to dairy than others. Number 8, mushrooms. While some mushrooms are perfectly safe for human consumption, there are many types of wild mushrooms that can be extremely toxic to dogs. We're talking about serious stuff here. Ingestion of certain mushrooms can cause liver failure, kidney failure, seizures, and even death in dogs. It's scary stuff. The problem is that it can be very difficult to tell the difference between a poisonous mushroom and a safe one, even for experienced mushroom hunters. So my advice is simple. Don't take any chances. Keep your dog away from areas where mushrooms are growing. And if you suspect that your dog has ingested a mushroom, contact your veterinarian or the ASPCA Animal Poison Control Center immediately. Number 9, walnuts. They might be a healthy snack for us, but they can spell trouble for our furry friends. Walnuts contain juglone, which dogs can't handle well. It can really upset their stomachs. Vomiting, diarrhea, the whole 9 yards. Keep an eye on your pup around walnut trees. When it comes to walnuts, it's a big no-no. A happy dog is one with a healthy gut. Number 10, citrus fruits. Oranges, lemons, and grapefruits, they smell amazing. But for our canine companions, they can be a recipe for tummy troubles. Dogs don't process citric acid the same way we do. We're talking vomiting, diarrhea, and a generally unhappy pup. The peels, seeds, and leaves contain essential oils that can be problematic. Stick to dog-friendly fruits like apples without the seeds. Number 11, apricot pits. Now let's talk about a fruit that often raises concerns. While the fleshy part of an apricot isn't toxic to dogs, the pit is a different story. Apricot pits, along with the pits of peaches, plums, and cherries, contain something called cyanide. Cyanide, as many of you know, is highly toxic. It disrupts the oxygen-carrying capacity of red blood cells, which can be life-threatening. Thankfully, a dog would need to ingest a significant amount of apricot pits to experience severe poisoning. However, even small amounts can cause problems. Symptoms of cyanide poisoning in dogs can include vomiting, difficulty breathing, bright red gums, and even seizures. It's a scary thought, and prevention is always the best approach. Number 12, apple seeds. You know the old saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away? Well, that might hold true for us humans, but for our furry friends, we've got to be a bit more careful. While the flesh of an apple itself is perfectly safe and even healthy for dogs in moderation, those tiny seeds tucked inside, those are a different story. You see, apple seeds, much like apricot pits, contain a naturally occurring compound called amygdalin. Now, amygdalin itself isn't the problem. But when it's broken down in the body, particularly in the digestive system, it produces something called cyanide. Cyanide, as many of you know, is highly toxic. A single seed or two likely won't cause any significant harm, especially in a larger dog. Number 13, macadamia nuts. Those buttery, crunchy treats we humans enjoy can cause more than just a tummy ache in our canine companions. They contain a toxin that can wreak havoc on their system. Symptoms include weakness, lethargy, and vomiting. In severe cases, hyperthermia can occur. Severe reactions are rare, but every dog is different, so keep macadamia nuts far away from your furry friends. Number 14, rhubarb. That tart and tangy plant we use in pies and jams? It can be downright dangerous for dogs. The real danger lies in the leaves. Rhubarb leaves contain high levels of oxalates. These can interfere with calcium absorption, leading to muscle weakness, tremors, and kidney failure. Keep your furry friends away from rhubarb. Number 15, eggs. We all know eggs are a great source of protein for humans, and we often share a bit of scrambled egg with our furry friends. But raw eggs can do more harm than good. They can lead to a biotin deficiency and harbor harmful bacteria like Salmonella and E. coli. Stick to cooked eggs instead. Cooked eggs provide all the benefits without the risks. Number 16, salt. We all love a little salt on our food, but for our furry friends, it's a different story. Too much salt can lead to sodium ion poisoning in dogs. Many processed foods and dog treats are loaded with hidden sodium. Symptoms include vomiting, diarrhea, excessive thirst, and lethargy. If you suspect salt poisoning, call your vet immediately. Moderation is key, just like with so many things in life. Number 17, alcohol. It is toxic to dogs, plain and simple. It might seem funny to see a dog act tipsy, but trust me, it's no laughing matter. Even small amounts of alcohol can have serious consequences for your furry friend. You see, dogs metabolize alcohol differently than humans do. Their bodies can't process it effectively, which means it hits them much harder and faster. We're talking about severe intoxication, even from just a few licks of beer or a spilled cocktail. The symptoms of alcohol poisoning in dogs can range from vomiting and disorientation to tremors, seizures, respiratory failure, and even death in extreme cases. It's absolutely crucial to keep any alcoholic beverages well out of your dog's reach. And remember, that includes things you might not think of right away, like uncooked bread dough, which contains yeast that produces alcohol as it rises, or desserts soaked in liquor. Remember, our furry friends depend on us to keep them safe and healthy. So be sure to share this video with your fellow dog-loving friends and family. You never know, you might just save a life. And as always, if you have any questions or concerns about your dog's health, don't hesitate to reach out to your veterinarian. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more pet care tips.